Yes, people. How's it going? Well, it's not going very good for me. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. I've tried. I don't know what's up with me. Well, I do know what's up with me. I just can't switch off. And it doesn't matter what I do. I just keep just laying there. And I don't feel tired. So what do? So I just decided I might as well get up and, sorry about that, I've got hiccups. Get up and do a podcast. One of my podcasts was reported earlier on. I think I might have upset some people with some of the stuff I said, but it's cool. It's cool. I did say on there, we've all got our own opinions. So I'm going to shorten this one. Right. So this podcast, is about relationships, marriage, dating, and phones. So times are a lot different now to when I was younger. When I was younger, you had to ask a girl for her number, and you'd normally get the house number, the house telephone number. We didn't have mobile phones. I didn't have my first mobile phone till I was about 18. And do you want to see the sort of phone that we had when we were young? Yeah. See this? This is a prime example of a mobile phone from the late 90s, early 2000s, yeah? You had to type in, so like when you did a text message, so you got ABC, yeah? So you had to get to C, you had to press that button 3 times. None of this touchscreen stuff that you got now, yeah? That is literally what we had, yeah, kids? You see it? Yeah? How crazy is that? Anyway, they're the phones we had. And, you know, if you had when I was 15 years old, if someone at school had a phone, that's because their parents were loaded. And I mean above and beyond loaded. Not like, no one had phones back in the late 90s, really, unless you were a drug dealer or your parents had a lot of money. Now, every kid have got them. Every child's got them, There's kids out there that have got a better phone than me. And they're like 30 years younger than me. Do you know what I mean? Because they all want the latest phone, the latest this, the latest that. That's fair enough, man. I'll tell you what, I respect these parents that will actually go out their way and buy their kids this stuff, because it ain't cheap. I have to make do with like a £80 phone. That's the most I'll spend on a phone, to be honest with you. But anyway, so when I was younger, you liked a girl, you had to go and get their number, and then you had the risk of ringing up their house and their dad answering the phone, or their mum, and then you were really worried then, because then obviously they're like, oh, who's it speaking? And you said, oh, it's John, I want to speak to so-and-so, to their daughter, and then the dad would be like, oh, who's this John guy? And it was, you got worried. But so now you ask for someone's number, you don't get the house phone number, do you? You get their mobile number, because everyone has a mobile. And so dating now, it isn't like it was back in the late 90s, 2000s. Like, we used to go to the pub to go and pull, to go pick up a girl, to go meet a girl. Now, you just go on Snapchat or Facebook, or, you see what I mean, or Messenger, and you can get people's mobile numbers that way. You don't even need to ask them personally. It's a lot more easier to get in contact with people nowadays. Dating, it's not really done now. It's all done on your phone. You see, when we were younger and we had this, if you clicked on the internet button, that was all your credit gone. Like literally, it was the worst thing ever. You only had to click on it once, and it went and it loaded up for 5 seconds, and then your credit would go bing, and that bit would be all gone. So now, dating is all swipe left, swipe right, but half the time you don't actually know who you're talking to online. Really, when you think about it, you could be talking to anyone. You could be talking to a bloke that's claiming to be a 20-year-old man when he's actually a 50-year-old man. Or a woman, vice versa. Do you see what I'm saying? When we were younger, you saw a girl you liked, say in a workplace, like in Tesco's or in a pub or whatever. You went and you asked for their number, and then you met up again in the same like wherever you'd meet up with them somewhere. You'd probably take your mates with you, and she'll take her mates with them, and that's how you did it. You know, my mate Pete, is how he met his partner, his wife, who is now married with kids, was in the pub. We went out on a night out, and there she was, and then they exchanged numbers, and now they're married with 2 kids. So you see what I'm saying? Like now, that ain't happening. You go to the pub. Sorry, you don't even go to a pub now. To be honest with you, drinking's bloody expensive anyway. But it's now all to do with dating apps. So you just look through, find someone local, swipe left, right, left, right, left, right. Yeah. So relationships now, right? The younger generation, from the ones that I've met, that are like, say, 15 years younger than me, so they're in their mid-20s, they're just shagging anything that they can. They're shagging their mate's missus, their mate, it's all gone a bit haywire, really. Like, everything is just very sex orientated, and that's just again the problem with phones nowadays. It's so easy to get pornography on a phone. Yeah, even a child could accidentally get pornography on a phone. You know, they got their parents' phone and typed in PO. The chances are it will probably come up with porn. Yeah. So nowadays, it's so much more. It's so much more different, because you can literally like contact anyone you want with these mobile phones, but you don't have to meet face to face to get people's numbers. It's so bad. Like I said, in the old days, we had to go above and beyond to get a girl's attention. We had to actually meet up with them face to face and get their number, not do it over Messenger. It's times have changed, big time. Relationships. No one seems to stick to a relationship anymore. It's like so your phone breaks. You don't go and repair it. You go and get a new one. It's the same with a relationship. Your relationship breaks down. You don't repair it. You just go get a new one. And this is why a lot of kids are growing up away from their dads, and sometimes their mums, because no one is willing to fix nothing now. And it's really bad. It is really bad. You know, like when you think about it, like my mum and dad have been married for 51 years. People aren't doing that no more. People aren't lasting. I know loads of people that their parents have divorced. And I'm not talking about, like, in my generation, it wasn't very often a parent's divorced. It was more like a recent thing. I've noticed more people get married and then break up, or get engaged and break up quite easily. Again, no one wants to fix what they've got. And this is what our children are growing up into, and this is what our children are seeing. So then our children will then go into a relationship later on in life, and then all of a sudden, oh, I've had enough of this one, I'll go with this one. But they've got a baby with this one. But that doesn't matter. They can go and have a baby with this one now. It's a very different time that we live in, yeah. Like I was saying, my mum and dad have been married 51 years. You know, of course they argued. We all argue, but they fixed it. And they're still together now. You get less for murder. Do you know what I mean? So, phones, the technology that we've got now is just, it's like taken over, big time. And I'm not going to sit there and say that, oh, this it's never taken over me. It's taken over me. Yeah. When I was on Facebook, I was spending so much time on Facebook, nothing else mattered. I even got into relationships because of Facebook. Do you see what I'm saying? Facebook's great that you can contact people from all over the world, and you can stay in contact with people all over the world. That's great. But it's not really a social network in the sense that you are using Facebook while you're out in a social event. So you'll be sat there in a pub. So I'm sat there in a pub. There's a table full of people over there, yeah? And all them people have got their phone in their hand scrolling through Facebook while at the pub. When we were younger, we didn't have an internet and stuff on our phones. That was all on a computer or a laptop. And when we went to the pub, we sat there, and the only thing we had in our hands was a pint or a drink. Okay, yeah, you could smoke in pubs back then as well, so we didn't have to go outside for that. Which, it is kind of nice that we have to smoke outside now, because you used to go to the pub back in the day. When you used to come back, you did used to stink like an ashtray. But, so times are a lot more different. The generation that are with doing this all now, with these phones, they don't know any different. They think like that phones is a natural thing, it's a normal thing. Take their phones away, see how they act. It wouldn't last a day. When I had my phone taken off me, when was it? Last year. The police took it off me because they had to look through it. I'm not going to go into why, but they took it off me and I didn't have a phone for a month. No. 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks I didn't have a phone. Yeah, they were only meant to have it for 4, but for some, like, they had it for ages. But anyway, and I had my phone, and I had to live without it. And yeah, it was a little bit difficult because I couldn't contact anyone to talk to anyone and go see people. You know, it's so much. I mean, it's good to have a phone nowadays. Don't get me wrong. Where you can, oh, I want to go see my mate. I better check he's in. Yeah. Back in the day, you went to go and see your mate. You just went and knocked on their door. Ding dong. Oh, is so and so there? No. And you had to go and find him. Now, oh, hello mate, where are you? It's the other reason why drugs are so much easier to get hold of now. Literally, most people are going to have drug dealers' phone numbers on their phone. I guarantee it. Pretty much everyone, in fact, everyone will have a drug dealer's, even if they know it or not. I can guarantee that. Yeah? So phones have opened up a lot of things that have put a lot more danger into this world. Pornography, bullying, drugs. The phones are seriously, when you think about it, yeah, phones have brought a lot more aggro to our lives than pleasure in that sense. Yeah, great. You can order your food off them. You can order anything off it. Yeah, Amazon. You can even order hookers off your phone. Yeah, Snapchat. Jesus, I was on Snapchat. Yeah, and these people are adding me, and I'm like, who is this person? But I accept, sometimes you think, oh, it could be, someone I know, yeah, because I've met a lot of people in my time. And then all of a sudden, like, you're talking to some girl in, like, America. And she's like, yeah, I want to sell you my photos. Do you want my content? Like, what? What do you mean? Oh, I'll send you pictures of me naked. You send me money. Like, what? What's that all about? People are selling drugs on Snapchat. People are selling naked pictures on Snapchat. And then your children are going onto Snapchat, yeah? And they're getting added by these people, and they're probably seeing this stuff. Phones are a dangerous thing. They're also very good at ending relationships, phones. Because all of a sudden, when you're in a relationship, I know a lot of people that have broken up with each other because they've been on their phone too much, and the other person, the first 3 months of getting with someone, you're all over each other, yeah? Then all of a sudden, the honeymoon period dies off, and then that person sat there like this. Yeah, just concentrating on this all the time. And then the other person in the relationship's going, let's go do this tonight. Oh, I can't really be bothered. Oh, I'm going to play on the computer, I'm going to do this. Yeah? Computer games as well, that's another thing. Like, people are just sat there playing all this Fortnite and Gears of War and all this shit. That's been going on a while. That's not a new thing. Not Snapchat or anything, really. I mean, Facebook's been around quite a while now. But it's like more people are on it. More people are doing Snapchat. More people are on Facebook. More people are using these social medias and not actually socialising properly with their friends like we used to. I've said this before on a podcast. I went out one night in the summer holidays, walked up to my mate's. He lives up the road, and it's about 9:30 so it's a school holiday, so all the kids are off, and there was not a single person out. Now, when I was in the school holidays and I was a teenager, I would be walking around Hazelmere till about midnight with my mates, and there'd be a gang of us. There'd be like 20-30 of us walking around. And there's no one out because all these kids are sat there playing on their computer games, playing on their phones. It's crazy. It's also as well cameras. They are absolutely everywhere. They are on everyone's doorsteps. You can't get away with nothing now. Back in the day, yeah, when we were younger, we used to stay out all night, tell our parents, I'm sleeping around this person, that person would say they're sleeping around mine, and there'd be like a group of us saying all this shit, and we'd all stay out, and then at 6 o'clock in the morning, we'd all go and find the orange juice on people's doorsteps and go and pinch that, yeah, 4 pints of orange juice, four mates, all sat up at the park, 6 in the morning, drinking our orange juice or whatever, tropical juice, whatever it is the milkman put out. You couldn't do that now because of these cameras on the doorbells. If you you go out someone's driveway, your pictures get taken. That's how crazy it is. When I crashed my car, it was all filmed on a doorbell. You know that? My friend Teresa the other day, she had an accident. Luckily for her, it was filmed on someone's doorbell. So it's they are good in a way, but they're not good if you're a criminal. I'll tell you that. I was speaking to Ray, and Ray said the same thing. He said, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, let's say, he said, you could get away with stuff. There wasn't as many cameras. There was a lot of fake cameras as well back in the day. Like, shop owners would get cameras and put them on outside their shop. They'd have a little red LED on, but they weren't real. So, yeah, phones have changed us a lot. They've changed our relationships and how we get into them. They've changed our social lives. Yeah, they've just completely taken over. And we're all just, like, oblivious to it, really. And it's only the only people... I mean, it's great that we can stay in contact with each other. And also, I've got to say, when we were on these phones back in the 2000s, early 90s, late 90s, sorry, you put your £10 on every month, and you didn't get unlimited text or unlimited calls. You literally got 10 text messages a day that you could send. And once you used them 10 text messages up, you had to wait till the next day till you could send another 10. Now, you get unlimited. You can send 1,000 text messages in a day. And you can do that for a whole month off just putting a tenner on your phone. Yeah? Those phones are, I mean, that, yeah, really is not, that's small compared to the phones we had back in the, but it's the same, like with the numbers, yeah. See what I mean? It's not touchscreen, yeah. That you hear it clicking, yeah. That is the same sort of phones we had. But we had Nokias. Nokias were indestructible. They were. You could not break a Nokia. You could literally. I'll tell you a story, yeah. This is a true story. Okay, I can't say names because I've got no permission to say this person's name. But this guy was a builder, and he was in the Wendover Arms. And there was these Nokia phones, and they had this special case on them. I can't remember what the phone was, yeah, but literally these phones, you could drop them from any height, and they would not break, right? So this guy's in the pub. He's like, "I've got this new Nokia phone, yeah. You can't break this phone." And this guy's and the guys in the pub said to this builder guy, "Yeah, bollocks, like." I bet you can break this phone. I bet you can. I bet you £100 I could break this phone. And the guy said, "Here you go. Here's my phone. Just throw it as hard as you can on the floor." This guy, yeah, it's literally got this phone, and he's gone. Not that, throwing it on the floor. It's bounced up. So right, this is like 20 years ago, let's say, yeah. So it's hit the floor, bounced up. There was a brand new flat screen TV mounted to the wall, right? Now, flat screen TVs, yeah, back then, you can get a flat screen TV now for next to nothing, yeah. Back in 20 years ago, a flat screen TV, what you can get now, yeah, cost a lot of money, yeah, a lot of money. This guy threw the phone on the floor, it's bounced up, flown across the pub, and smashed into the TV, broke the TV, and the landlord has looked at the guy that threw it and was like, "Get out my fucking pub, you're banned," and barred him because of it. But guess what? The phone didn't break. True story. So yeah, phones are, they've got their good points. I mean, I stay in contact with like my mate Eddie Bates and Ollie Bates, yeah, and they don't even live, like, Ollie's in the Cayman Islands, Eddie's in Australia. I wouldn't be able to do that. 20 years ago, it was all email or letter. My dad has had a friend in Australia for the bloke moved out there when my dad's 73 and his best mate's 73, right? So his best mate moved out to Australia when he was 16 with his dad. So a long time ago, yeah, a long time ago, yeah. You're looking at like just like 50 something years ago, yeah. He moved out to Australia. So, and my dad used to have to write to him on a letter because there was no emails, nothing like that 50 years ago. Now, my dad can video call him on his phone, WhatsApp him, and you know, WhatsApp, great, yeah. staying in contact with people, voice noting people. But I'm a WhatsApp addict. I'm not gonna lie. I WhatsApp a lot of people. Yeah, Kirsty and Teresa can vouch for that. But you know, I mean, say for instance, like today, so Kirsty, you're right, sweetheart. Teresa, much love to you. I hope you're all right. So Kirsty and Teresa, like I said, I messaged them up, but when she's having a real bad time in a minute. So I'm one of these people, yeah. If someone's having a bad time, it doesn't matter about how I feel, yeah. If someone's having a bad time and I know it, I will message them to ask them how they are. And if I don't hear from them, I get worried, and I message them again, and then I message them again, and then they get back to me, and then I'm cool. Yeah, I did it the other day, right? I'm not going to mention this guy's name because he's got some serious problems. Yeah, he's got something real bad that's happened to him. God bless you, mate. Yeah, if you're watching this, brother, yeah, this is about you. But I'm not going to say your name because I don't know who knows your situation, and I don't want to give away anything. But I messaged my bro the other day. Yeah, this guy, I've known him a long time, and all I said to him was, I know that you're having a bad time. I don't expect you to call me, voice note me, or message me, but I just want you to know that I'm here for you. So please, can you message me back? Just to say thanks, mate. Appreciate it. That's all I need to hear from him, just so that he knows that I'm there for him. And then if I get a message back, then I know he's received it, and he sent me back fist bumps and some hearts. Yeah, so I know. So the person I'm talking about, if they're watching this now, they know that the message I just said was the exact one that they sent me the other day. They know I'm talking about them. I love you, bro. Like I said, I'm there for you. I'm there for any of you. All right, literally anyone out there, yeah, that is having a bad time. Any of my friends, any of my family, never hesitate to call me if you're having a bad time. If I can sort it out, if I can help you, I will do. Even though I'm struggling myself. And yesterday, I was at breaking point, and I really, really realised how bad I was struggling. Like, really realised how bad I was struggling. But today, I seem to have picked myself up. I had a phone call from Teresa today, because her son had to go and get some tests done at the hospital, and because of this, I've been through the same thing. So she rang me because she just wanted to talk to me about things, because she knows I know bits and bobs about what she's going through. So I listen, when I speak to her, I call them my girlies. Yeah, they're not my girlies. They're my friends. Yeah. So Kirsty and Teresa, when I hear from them, especially Teresa, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it brightens up my day, because she means a lot to me. She means a hell of a lot to me, and I care for her a lot. But and Kirsty, I care for Kirsty a lot, because Kirsty has been through exactly what I'm going through, and now she's having a really bad time in life. But I'm there for her, because that's what you've got to do in this day and age, is be there for people. Because there are so many negative, nasty people out there that are trying to ruin your life. You've got to be able to be there for each other and support each other through the bad times, and then share the good times together. And I've not really had many good times this year. I've had a few. I saw Master Ace. That was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I saw Snoop Dogg. That was excellent. And I spent time with my mate Chapman on that, And me and Chapman always have a good time. The only other thing that was really good for me this year was when I met up with Teresa. And the connection between us was just out of this world. And yeah, it was good. It was really good. It made me feel alive. And you did that, Teresa, yeah? Don't ever forget that. While I was in my darkest days, my darkest times, you were the one that lifted me up and put that smile on my face. And I'd like to think I did the same for you. I'm pretty sure I did. I know I did, but yeah. So, yeah, sorry, I've sort of just gone off on this podcast, speaking about phones and connecting with people and all that, yeah, but yeah, it's great, you know. I'm connected to a lot of people through my phone. I'm not on Facebook now, but I spend a lot of time on YouTube and talking about my life stories and stuff, and just stories, like I said, about like the phones and stuff. Like, it was so different when we were younger. When you got topped up your phone, nowadays it's on a receipt, yeah. When I was younger, you had to go in the shop, ask for 5, 10, 15 or £20, yeah, or £25 voucher, and you got a cardboard voucher, and you know, like on a scratch card, you have that silver scratch stuff that you scratch off. Well, you had that on the back of the phone card, and you scratched that off, and it gave you a 16-digit PIN, and then that's how you topped up your phone. It was like a scratch card, yeah, exactly, basically the same size, but it had just a strip of that scratch off stuff, yeah, and underneath that was a number. And you scratched that off, typed in the code into your phone, and then you had your credit. But like I said, you didn't get thousands of minutes, you didn't get gigabytes, yeah. You didn't have internet when I was younger on your phones. In fact, Wi-Fi didn't exist. When you went on the internet, if someone come and picked up your house phone while you were on the internet downloading something, it used to cut your internet off. And so if you're in the middle of downloading something, it would cut it off, and you'd have to start all over again and download what you were trying to download. So if you were downloading films back then, like 20, 25 years ago, mate, and your mum come along, picked up the phone, and then it cut off, and then you had to start all over again. But a film would take, like, to download now, what you're looking at, probably you could download a 2-hour film in like half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Back then, it was taking you like 3 hours, maybe 6 hours, depending on how big the film was. But then films weren't as big back in the day. You know, we were looking at a film would last an hour and 20 minutes back in the day when we were young. They're like 2.5 hours, 3 hours now. And films as well. Just this what I mean. Technology has just completely changed like everything. With CGI, films, like, you know, they can put so much more detail into things. Yeah, it's crazy. So I've gone right off topic in a sense. Well, I have and I haven't, because I'm still talking about technology. But yeah, so yeah, phones, they're great. They really are. But they have taken over. And this new generation is just going to be so up on technology that I am the last generation that spent my time outdoors, actually hanging around with my friends. I am the last generation. You don't get that no more. Everyone's just indoors on their phones. You know, you can watch whatever you want on your phone. You can watch Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, all that. It's all on your phone. If we wanted to watch a film, we had video cassettes, then DVDs. And what was the other one? Mini discs, Blu-rays, things like that, yeah? So different now. So different. And we got to keep this alive. You got to get this younger generation to get out of their houses and to stop playing with these devices. You know, these kids need to learn how to meet people without these devices, because it's just completely taken over now. But anyway, this has been one of the longest podcasts I've done. Sorry, people. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, and I was like, what else do I do? So I just thought I might as well just get up and talk. Just talk the dead flies off you lot, do you know what I mean? You lot are all asleep. It's like 20 to 4, and I'm not tired. I don't know. It's crazy. I should be tired, but I'm not. I am sort of a little bit, but it's just, yeah, I don't get it. It's worse, mental health. Can't switch off. Too much on my mind, worried about stuff. I worry all the time now. I mean, I've always been a bit of a warrior. Warrior. Do you like that? It's like Eminem wordplay there. Now, I've always worried, do you know what I mean? Like I said earlier on, like when I know someone's having a bad time and I don't hear from them when I've messaged them, I worry. If they're a good friend, like, of course, you know, especially if you care about someone, you're going to message them and you don't hear from them, and then all of a sudden you don't hear from them like all day. Then you're like, oh no, what's happened? Is everything all right? Especially if you know they're having a bad time. It's even worse then, because then you start to think, oh, things have got worse. So I've always sort of worried and stuff, but, you know, I've got to the point now where I wake up in the morning and I'm having like panic attacks and anxiety going through me, like, what's going to happen today? Like, or if I've got to go to town, I'm like, oh, don't want to go to town. If I know there's going to be people there that I know, if I go down there, I'm fine. But if there's not people down there I know, then it is worrying. It does get. But yeah, times have changed. It's good in a way. I wouldn't have met some of the girls over the past, what? Where are we now? So 2008, 9, so 2009, 9. So 14 years ago, I met a girl through Messenger or through Facebook, funny enough. I got with her and I was with her for 5 years. And I never knew it, but I added her on Facebook and then we just started talking. And she was in the same scene as me. This was my raving days. But yeah. But the girl that I got with previously before that, oh no, not the one before that. That was an old school flame. But the one before that, I met her in Wickham. That's how I met her, and that was before I was on Facebook, you see. So yeah, Facebook, it can be good, but it can be also quite damaging. You know, sometimes you got to realise what it's doing to you and what it's doing. Like, yeah, Facebook completely takes over your life. What was it? Someone called it face ache. Old friend of mine earlier on messaged me, funny enough. And she said, oh, I've realised you're not on face ache. And I was like, yeah, because everything that's been going on, I just come off it because I've just had enough. And it's one of the best things I've done. Since then, I actually spend most of my time, if I go out to see my friends, I'm actually sat there talking to them, not sat there staring at my phone, looking at memes. You know, who remembers Facebook Poke? That was like when it first came out and you could poke people. Yeah, but they got rid of that though. There's a lot of things that have changed. A lot of things that have changed. But again, you see, like Facebook, to me, it helped me get in contact with like people like Ray Hill and Kev the Kosh Summer. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing because I would never have met them guys if it wasn't for Facebook. Well, I've met Ray, obviously, 2005 I met Ray, way before I was on Facebook. I didn't get onto Facebook till 2008. 2004 I met Ray, sorry. Yeah, 2004. So, yeah. Crazy. Proper crazy. Like how things have changed, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, and it's going to get more crazier for the next generation. Soon, you're going to be able to order a new house, a new car, a new girlfriend, your food, a new pet, all on your phone. Which you can pretty much do already. But it's going to be to the point where people won't leave their house at all. We'll be all controlled by the government, you know, because they'll be able to see where we are. They're already probably watching now. They're probably like listening in now. And I'm not like going to be this big conspiracy theorist and be like, oh, my phone's bugged and da da da. I'm not saying. I'm just saying they probably are. That's how they keep tabs on you. You know, I was watching Rise of the Foot Soldier, and I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, how did these guys get away with this? And then I thought to myself, like, this was the 90s, early 90s, when these guys were active. You know, Pat Tate, Tony Tucker and all that lot. And there was hardly no cameras around. Yeah, it was a lot different. It was a lot different. I'm glad I grew up in the generation I grew up in, because I've sort of, you know, I've lived my life. I've actually experienced going out and meeting people while going out, not just meeting people on the phone. I've done it both, if you see what I'm saying, yeah? I've met people by going out. I've met people through my phone, yeah? So it's not a bad thing. And like I said, I get to stay in contact with a lot of friends all over the world, which is a great thing. No, I'm not going to deny that. But at that, I'm going to leave it now. So this was just about relationships, how they've changed now. This was about how phones have changed all that, really. Yeah, this was really about phones. And obviously other bits and bobs, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to go to sleep, but I just don't feel tired. It's crazy. Anyway, people, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, for liking, for subscribing. I've lost a subscriber today, but might have been because one of the posts I did earlier on might have upset them. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's what people do, innit? They get upset because people are just wet wipes nowadays, to be honest with you. Like, you know, you can't even call someone gay because it will offend someone. You can't even call a woman because she'll probably take it that she'll be like, no, I'm not a woman, I'm a man, or I'm a toaster, or I'm a piece of bread, or something like that. You know, at the end of the day, I'll say this right now. You got men, you got women, so that's my generation. That's how I see it. Yeah? So I'm not gonna sit here. You can say what you want, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing. You're a woman or you're a man, yeah? So you're one or the other. So don't sit there and tell me that you're not this and you're not that, because I ain't taking it, I ain't listening. It's just because I grew up with two generations, and that can't change. It's science at the end of the day. Sorry if that upsets you, but it's the truth. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. It's been emotional. Thanks, guys. Much love to you all. Enjoy this one, because it's nearly 45 minutes long. It's the longest one I've ever done. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good time. I hope everyone has a good day tomorrow. I hope you all have a blessed day. Anyone out there that's struggling, stay strong, stay positive, and good things will come your way. God bless you all. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and I'll see you guys soon, yeah?